Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Anybody ready for a positive headline? I know. The last 24 hours in particular have been very trying for us here in the XRP community, but really I'd say for anybody that's holding cryptocurrency, especially altcoins. The entire market went down, just tanking yesterday. You ready for some positive stories here? Check out this one from ambcrypto.com. XRP's collapse likely to be followed by a surge of 100+% in the upcoming weeks. So I'm going to be sharing that with you in this video. I also got a couple fun threads that I want to share with you from Twitter, and I'll close out the video by sharing a story from thedailyhodl.com about Binance, cryptocurrency exchange Binance, their CEO CZ, saying that the crypto market has room to grow by 1,000 times what it currently is. So I'm going to be getting into all that pretty much positive stuff by and large in this video. Before we get rolling, though, if you would please delicately tap that like button, but don't smash it because only dorks smash the like button. And go ahead and subscribe. That's it, just subscribe, please. It's how I validate my self-worth. All right, into the content here. I'm just kidding. So the speech begins. After yesterday's slump in Bitcoin's price, XRP and other alts are trying to stay alive. Even before this, XRP's price has been steadily collapsing with a few spikes. As of August 15, price of XRP reached a level that was previously seen almost a year ago. The slump in XRP's steep decline must have hodlers shaking in their boots. Not this hodler. I am not scared whatsoever. I understand. I want to say before I read further, I fully understand that this has nothing to do with fundamentals. The fundamentals that were in place just 2 days ago were also in place yesterday as price went down and in place today. In fact, things develop the more time passes for the positive, especially as it pertains to the adoption of XRP on a global scale. So no, I wasn't shaking in my boots. I just didn't care. Really, I view it as a buying opportunity. It wasn't a day for me to buy, and I'm very disciplined in my buying of XRP. I'm on a set schedule, so I just didn't do it. And if I missed out, I missed out. That's that. But for me, and none of this is financial advice, but I choose to buy on a set schedule, and so to me it doesn't matter if the price is up or if it's down, and I won't tap the pause button on my buying of XRP until I see a parabolic shift upwards. But anyway, as the price of XRP was at 25 cents, however, it is still the third largest cryptocurrency in the world. The future of XRP at this point looks bleak, but then again, what goes up must come down, and so far XRP has done nothing but go down, which is quite literally untrue. So I don't like that part. It's short, medium time frame. XRP price broke out of a descending triangle on July 11th and has been collapsing since then. As seen in the above chart, two major drops have been witnessed since then. The latest drop came yesterday when Bitcoin slipped. An interesting thing about the last drop is that the price of XRP hit a low of 24.2 cents. This was last seen on August 14th, 2018, exactly a year ago. What are the odds of that happening exactly a year ago? Coincidences apart, this point will now act as a support for XRP in the foreseeable future. The price of XRP bouncing from here seems more likely than proceeding to dip. The chances that happening are present, yet infinitesimally small. And I want to say again, for those of you that haven't heard me state this yet, why did XRP price go down? Why did it go down yesterday? Because Bitcoin went down. You know, and I'll state something, and this is just going to be anecdotally, but okay, so first of all, I have cited that, of course, XRP does follow the price action of Bitcoin, just like every other coin on the planet, but not down to the second, the minute, the day, the week, the month, whatever it may be. Not all the time. Sometimes it moves almost perfectly in tandem. And anecdotally, I don't have data behind this, but just when looking at the charts over the last 1 year and 9 months I've been in the world of crypto, to me it just kind of seems like XRP moves more closely in tandem with Bitcoin price action when heading down and less in sync when moving up. So it still moves in tandem. If you zoom out on a chart far enough, you can see that it pretty well correlates almost perfectly, right? But in terms of dramatic price action downward for Bitcoin, it's more likely that XRP will be immediately impacted. So why did XRP go down? Because Bitcoin went down. Why did Bitcoin go down? I don't know. Irrational buying and selling people are speculating. What can you say to that, really? All right, so anyway, did I read this last part? Coincidence apart, this will... Oh, yeah, I did read that. Okay, so now down here. The price gets clearer and less noisy at this time frame. As seen above, the price has been sticking at the lower end for more than a year now. The only noticeable pump was in September 2018, when the price of XRP pumped from 26.63 cents to 76.44 cents in a week. And by the way, that's true, and that was because of the leak that came out. And I don't know if it was fabricated or if it was a genuine leak, but it ended up actually being real. There's word that Ripple was about to announce the launch of the production version of XRapid, so that was pure speculation based on that. And when the news actually hit, the price really didn't do anything because it was already baked into the price. And some people were surprised, and I was like, nah, you already saw it ramp up. That was why. That was pretty much it. Then they have a little subheading here titled Bleak Prospect. On one hand, if Bitcoin proceeds to dip further down, XRP will humbly follow it to the ends of the road. This is mainly due to an extreme correlation that exists with Bitcoin. Although the correlation of XRP with Bitcoin has reduced from the peaks, there is still a high correlation of 0.72 between them. The target for XRP, if it proceeds lower, hand in hand with Bitcoin, is 20 cents. Yeah, okay, can't rule anything out, but even then I don't care, because when I'm always looking at it, to me it's always about the fundamentals, so I just don't care about the short-term price action. I do not care. I mean, it's fascinating to follow to some degree just because it is my own money I put into this, but does it cause alarm? No, it does not cause alarm. Not to me, at least. And then they have a subheading here, the bounce. On the other hand, the path with least resistance and the most likely path for XRP is to head up from the 24.4 cent support. The question that remains is, what's the upside target? And number one, the first bounce from the support would be a 45% rise in the next 2 to 3 weeks, which puts the price of XRP at 37.64 cents. 2, the medium to short-term target would be a logical retracement from here. This would be followed by another major pump to 62.17 cents, which would be a 70% pump from the previous high, or an overall pump of 150%. So there you go. This is one person's opinion. This is one analyst's opinion of what may be coming down the pike here. And I'm firm on my position that crypto is here to stay. Bitcoin, the market's still parsing out the degree to which cryptocurrency in general will be impactful, and as a result, that Bitcoin's not going away anytime soon, if ever. Certainly not anytime soon. I anticipate, again, not financial advice, I'm just sharing with you my honest opinions. I think that Bitcoin, until something fundamentally changes, until people start behaving in a different way and the frenzy around this technology begins to die down and rationality sinks into a larger degree, Bitcoin is going to keep pumping. More are going to get involved. People are going to see that the asset class has staying power. It is not going away. More people will learn about it over time, which means more money coming in, both from retail speculators and from an institutional buyer point of view. And Bitcoin will go up, and altcoins will go up and well. Some projects will die, fine. I haven't seen data to prove to me yet that the altcoins are all gone now. I mean, some of the scams and all that, okay, fine, they're gone, and we'll see. But I still am not convinced, because some people have the position that alt season ain't coming. This time it's different. Well, the last 5 years of data show otherwise, and we'll see if history repeats itself. But it's a fact that if there is no altcoin rally this time, it'll be the first time in history that it has not happened. And I don't see. To me, there isn't enough evidence to convince me of that. So I don't know when it's going to happen, but I believe that there will be an alt season, and of course XRP will be a part of that. Even if, and then don't be surprised, I won't be surprised at all. I don't know what's going to happen because I don't make predictions, but I will not be surprised if a bunch of altcoins start pumping in a meaningful fashion a little bit sooner than XRP. I really won't be surprised at all. You can look at the price action in 2017 when Bitcoin went from 1,000 to almost 20,000. For over half the year, XRP, while technically volatile, it was more or less flat. It didn't have the same upward trajectory as Bitcoin, and then bam, into December, and you saw it just ramp up from, what was it, somewhere around 25 cents to, a month or so later, $3.92. So I just don't believe for a moment that the all-time highs we saw at the beginning of 2018 of XRP, I don't believe that's going to be the highest it will ever have gotten. I personally do not. All right, next here. I like this Twitter thread from WB, so I thought I'd share it with you. He writes, here is my analysis on the current state of altcoins and the potential arrival of an alt season. Bitcoin branding is excellent, but its main flaws are that it still has high fees, low speed, and, well, absolutely no use case apart from the fact that everyone is buying in the hope that it goes up. And I think it'll go like that for a long time. I was just sharing that sentiment, actually. So anyway, another issue from Bitcoin is also the fact that the money/value it's generating is not pumped enough into improving its technology or its use cases. Crypto is right now nothing but a speculatory space, hence that's why Bitcoin, which has the highest and brightest chart track record, is the most successful. Bitcoin is perceived as the number one crypto when it comes to speculation. Everyone believes Bitcoin will always be the king of crypto, in quotes. Hey, big proof, why do we say alts? Alts may fill that void regarding the technical and use cases flaws of Bitcoin. Alts have their opportunities regarding some specific real-life applications. But for that to happen, there are, in my opinion, many obstacles. People won't get much attention on alts until either Bitcoin pumps above its all-time high or alts start pumping instead of Bitcoin. And I don't really believe in the second scenario. I don't believe in the short term here. I believe that alts will start going back up, certainly, but are they going to... I don't know. There's going to be an alt season, but I'm not sure that I understand exactly what he was trying to get, because again, he wrote, people won't get much attention on alts until either Bitcoin pumps above its all-time high or alts start pumping instead of Bitcoin. I'm not sure exactly what he means by that. I still think that there's a reason to believe that alt season will ultimately come. It's just, can you imagine, because let me frame it this way. Can you imagine a world where Bitcoin really does hit its all-time high, and let's say it smashes through it, and then it's hitting 40, 50,000, whatever, and out of the thousands of coins that exist, none of them pump, none of them increase in value, And not that I think that they should all even exist, but don't you think humans would behave in such a way that other stuff would go up too? Because I don't see any indication that the frenzy around this has died. It's just like when it comes to the dot-com boom and bust, it was clear there was a huge peak, and it got to, what was the market cap, like $6 trillion or something like that, and then internet stocks tanked and all that good stuff, and then only the ones that actually should exist ended up continuing to exist. The rest kind of went the way of the dodo. They all went extinct. But the frenzy died down, and it was pretty clear it had died down. I'm not seeing indications of that right here, not in any meaningful way, so we shall see. Anyway, then he writes, there must be a global regulatory clearance, which is still not done in the U.S. and many places, including large nations such as India, still planning on banning crypto. There must also be some kind of coordination within the value chain of different industries so that the companies within a specific industry choose together one or some coins for some use cases that have a super strong added value. Finally, as industries start picking their winners, some coins will rise and many or most of the others will die. That's the Blu-ray versus HD DVD part of the story, where the hype finally dies and the real-life application emerges. Long road away, in my opinion. Yeah, and I tend to agree with that, too. I don't think that humans are anywhere near figuring out what the implications are, the way in which it's going to change the crypto will change the world. People have not figured that out yet, and which coins will win. And I think it's those that get adopted and have real utility, anyway. Next piece here, this is another Twitter thread, and I thought this was just kind of fun, and it's an opportunity to bust some FUD also. Somebody named Don Alt tweeted out, XRP, is this what they call bullish selling? This is a tweet from yesterday, and it shows the XRP price tanking, but every alt did, so it's just an opportunity to take a cheap shot at XRP. And somebody named Crypto Godfather retweeted that and wrote, about time people realize XRP has huge flaws in every way. Now, mind you, the entire market was tanking, but here you go, let's pick on XRP. This is what people do. It's the Bitcoin maxis like to do this, and crypto media likes to do it, and I like to call it out. And somebody named Firstborn of Satoshi wrote, let's start. What are the flaws? Site 5. If I fail to counter anything, I'd sell all my XRP and post a screenshot. Okay, that's a little extreme, but I appreciate the sentiment for Sporn Satoshi. And then Mitch Heidelberg. That's a clever name, though. I will give him that. You guys ever follow comedian Mitch Hedberg? He died a long time ago, but I used to listen to that guy a lot back when I was in college. Anyway, you should look him up if you're not aware of Mitch Hedberg. Very funny. So Mitch Heidelberg, number 1, no use for their coin. Even on their own network, any coin could be substituted. 2, founders gifted far too many coins. 3, can choose to freeze your wealth at their discretion with backdoor access to your wallets. 4, centralized. 5, goes against the idea of cryptocurrency. And then Firstborn Satoshi wrote back, number 1, other coins would not be faster than XRP on the XRP ledger. What you should have wrote, though, is in response to that, because his accusation is that any coin could be used in the place of XRP. Okay, Ripple would have to allow that within their XRapid technology. XRapid only works with XRP, and Ripple's not going to change that. They have no incentive to do that. They have a vested interest in the value of XRP increasing over time. So it is true what he said. The other, like Bitcoin, whatever, wouldn't be faster. That's a fair point. But I would have thrown in there XRapid only works with XRP, and unless you're going to have other developers building on top of whatever ledger you want to use a coin for, well, it's not going to happen unless you have developers doing that. It's not just going to occur otherwise. Anyway, point 2. Those who create value get to decide how to distribute it, regardless escrow is in place. And that was in response to the founders gifted far too many coins. But I still want to maintain that when you buy XRP, you should be smart and research it prior to doing that. And if you do research it, you will see what the distribution of XRP looked like, what the founders had, of Ripple had, all that stuff. And if you're not cool with it, you don't buy. If you are cool with it, you do buy. I knew about that, and I bought. And I still don't care. I don't think it fundamentally matters at all. They're going to end up really like some of the wealthiest people on the planet, and I don't care. Like, that doesn't negatively impact me whatsoever. And if they're going to change the world on that scale, they probably deserve it. So, whatever. And then, so the third point was, can choose to freeze your wealth at their discretion with backdoor access to wallets. So, Firstborn Satoshi wrote to that, FUD, Ripple cannot freeze your XRP. What more needs to be said to that? You know, gateways can freeze XRP, but they can also freeze, we're talking about exchanges, like exchanges can freeze Bitcoin too. So what? It doesn't matter. And IOUs can be frozen on the XRP ledger, but you know that's not XRP. XRP is not freezable by Ripple or anyone else unless it's like an exchange, in which case that means that it's your wallet, so you get to decide what to do with it because XRP is decentralized. All right, 4, they says it's centralized. Firstborn Satoshi writes back, only 21% nodes controlled by Ripple. Yeah, XRP is absolutely decentralized. That's just a fact. There is no way to reasonably dispute that. There just isn't. And 5, goes against the idea of cryptocurrency. Then he wrote, no place for idealism here. Look, in terms of cryptocurrency, it goes against the idea of cryptocurrency. What is XRP? It's a decentralized cryptocurrency. That's exactly what the spirit of cryptocurrency is. Decentralized using distributed ledger technology. It's the same as Bitcoin, but faster, cheaper, and uses less energy. It's just being used for different things by different developers than Bitcoin's being used for. Bitcoin isn't great for certain use cases because it's freaking slow and costly. But what are you talking about? It goes against the idea of cryptocurrency. That's a bunch of hooey. That's a bunch of hogwash. And then Mitch Heidelberg responded in response to other coins that could be, yes, what are you right? Other coins would be, okay, so Firstborn Satoshi pointed out, other coins wouldn't be faster, and Mitch Heidelberg responded, Stellar would, and that's just one. Okay, fair point. Stellar, of course, is very quick. It's just a clone of XRP with some modifications, so it's super fast, got it. But again, is Ripple going to allow Stellar lumens to be utilized rather than XRP on XRapid? No, that's not happening. It's not going to happen. Okay, 2. He's saying that the distribution is theft. Theft from me? What are you talking about? Theft. So if you buy into XRP, like I bought XRP, nobody took my money. Like they didn't hold me at gunpoint and take my money. It was exchange. Somebody was willing to sell, and I was willing to buy. This is completely irrational. Then they write, they froze the creator's account, not FUD. I'm assuming what he's talking about was Jed McCaleb's account being frozen. I'm going from memory here, so I apologize if I'm slightly wrong on any of this, but I remember there was something about an account being frozen, I think it was Jed McCaleb's, on an exchange that's a gateway. Gateways can freeze whatever they want to freeze. They can freeze what they can suspend wallets. I mean, there are all sorts of times I wanted to move crap off of Binance during the run up in 2017, and I couldn't because wallets were quote under maintenance. Okay, okay, and that may be just beat maintenance, but I'm just saying if they want to freeze, the gateways can freeze. Like, so what? This is not Ripple doing it. Whatever. All right, 4. The other 79% controlled by XRP, we know, centralized. That doesn't even, literally, that sentence doesn't make any sense to me, so I'm just going to disregard it. Number 5, Exactly, so bye-bye XRP. Hope you enjoy the trip down. And then so Matt Hamilton jumped into this point and wrote, no, Ripple can't freeze funds. No, there is no backdoor. You have been misled. And so that's where we're at. It's just it's fun to read through these things. It's fun to think through things critically. It's fun to just kind of I identify people that are stating things as fact that are not facts, especially when they come from the Bitcoin community, because they're a bunch of maximalists. Not all of them, and it doesn't mean they're all bad people. I'm not saying that, but they are tribal. A lot of them are. And they say things as if it's fact that are quite literally factually incorrect. And it's fun to highlight. So anyway, last piece, then I'll wrap up the video here. Binance CEO outlines massive 1,000 times crypto prediction, says he's excited to pass the baton. Binance CEO CZ says he wants to hand the responsibility of running the company's centralized crypto exchange to someone new, but it won't happen anytime soon. In a new interview on the podcast Flippening, Zhao talks about the stress involved in running Binance.com. Here's a quote. For Binance.com, I think it will be more like a baton passing to some guy because Binance.com is a centralized service. And with a centralized service, you typically have a chain of command and a hierarchy, and that kind of makes sense. And I actively want to pass that on. Honestly, most people are jealous of people running a successful exchange. But if you're actually running a successful exchange, you know how many headaches are involved. There's just so much stuff going on. So many issues, so many problems you have to deal with. So I would very much welcome a professional CEO/manager/leader type of person to take this on. But I think it would take a couple years because we're still quite new. There's still a lot of things in flux, and we're not organized in such a way like a well-established big company. The other parts of Binance ecosystem, like the decentralized exchange, is a prime example of just letting the community handle it. Very soon in the future, we'll open source it. Later on, there will be more validator nodes, and there will be a community voting on the next steps for the decentralized exchange development. All right. According to CZ, Binance has had a strong start to 2019 with a 50% to 60% increase in revenue during the first 2 quarters. He says the company is largely focused on building the ecosystem and use cases for Binance Coin, which is BNB. And he writes, in our case, given that there's a BNB token, which is a utility token that now has more than 100 uses, I think last time we counted 112. So it's no longer just about growing the company value, it's about growing the ecosystem value. So the more people who use BNB, the higher value BNB is. And that's beneficial for everyone that's involved. Not just our team members, but also our angels who do not get paid a salary. Our community members are investors, so there's a different type of dynamic that's involved once there's a token issued. So you actually want to grow the ecosystem value. All right, and then it writes, as for Zhao's prediction that the crypto market still has 1,000 times to grow, he says it's based on the belief that crypto can do far more than fiat. And here's another quote from him. I think even in the US or anywhere in the world, there's probably less than 0.1% of people who actually have crypto. So there's probably 1,000 times to grow. And also, the crypto market is going to be bigger than the fiat market. So this is similar to Uber markets bigger than the taxi market. There's more things you can do in crypto. There's more things you can do in crypto than with just fiat money. So I think in crypto, you can combine fiat, the currency aspect, the equity aspect, utility aspects, even combined real estate project. There's a lot more things you can do with crypto. I think the market is not saturated anywhere. Now, is that not a bullish sentiment? And I have to agree. I mean, I didn't sit here and calculate out whether the 1,000 times statement is accurate or not, but just the sentiment of a ton of room to grow. Oh, absolutely. Almost nobody on the planet even knows what crypto is. Almost even fewer own it, you know. And so it's just there's to me, big picture, nowhere to go but up for the asset class. And so, not financial advice, it's just how I personally feel about it. But I'll wrap up the video there. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!